Glad you are joining us. We're going through a series talking about the different ways we can grow during any season, but particularly this quarantine season. We've talked about how we can grow mentally. The second part in the message from Billy this past Sunday was how we can grow physically. Now, I know he kind of talked about it, and you might be saying the same. That doesn't really make sense. I'm stuck inside. Why does exercise matter so much? Well, you're asking someone who really cares a lot about this subject. So let me tell you, we are holistic beings. Now the word holistic should be right here. The word holistic means everything works together. So I know the word holistic has kind of been taken by a brand inside of medicine. I'm not really talking about that in particular, but I'm talking about the idea that everything I do affects every other part of me. So what I eat affects my emotional state. How much I exercise affects my mood, affects what I want to be doing, how much energy I have. All of it ties together. So as a holistic person, you can't just think something and believe it doesn't affect what you do. You can't just feel something and believe it doesn't affect what you think. It all ties together and it all works as you are one whole person. So with that being said, I think we believe that physical growth, in a way, is important right now. Exercise is a big, big deal. Now, I'm not saying you need to go and become the next best athlete. You don't need to try to qualify for the Olympics or become something you're not. We don't mean that. But every person needs exercise. Getting your body moving is important. So, throughout this time, I would encourage you to have a couple of things. First, just get moving. Don't just sit. Last time at the end of the video, I said, don't sit. When you're talking about mental, well, literally, don't sit. Sitting is fine. You can be doing that. Obviously, I'm sitting right now. But don't spend your whole day just sitting down. Get up. Move. Get your muscles moving. Get your joints moving. Do a little bit each day. You don't need to be doing a ton. You don't need to be doing hours and hours of exercise. But don't do zero. Don't do none. Get moving. Do just a little bit each day. Focus on getting an elevated heart rate if you can. Now, I know if you have health issues and that's different, I'm not talking about that. But if you're a healthy person, get an elevated heart rate. That is important. Even break a sweat if you can. Breaking a sweat to me is that level of, okay, I'm doing something. If I'm exercising but I'm not sweaty, my heart rate is really normal, that's not really exercise. That's just normal daily activity. So if you're sweating, that means you've successfully entered that exercise zone. You've gotten your body working a little bit harder than it normally does, so it allows yourself to strengthen and grow physically. That's not why you sweat. You sweat so you can cool yourself down, but you're cooling down because your body's working harder than normal, and that's what exercise is. When you work harder than normal, your body grows. You strengthen yourself. You strengthen your respiratory system. You strengthen your cardiovascular system. You strengthen your muscles. You strengthen joints, and that's what the point of all of it is to be stronger and not just deteriorate. One of my favorite phrases with exercise is use it or lose it. It's pretty basic, it's pretty common, but if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. It's not going to be there anymore. So if you don't know where to start with your exercise, I would encourage you, Google it. Get on the internet. There are many, many online apps and websites of people promoting their workout programs, and right now, during this quarantine, a lot of people are offering them for free. Now, they're probably offering them for free with the hope of you paying for it afterwards, but you don't have to. You can still utilize it right now for free in home using different objects. You don't need fancy weight sets. You don't need all the big rigs and racks. Even just today, the day I'm recording this video, the weight in my workout was, I had a 12-pound weighted blanket. I shoved it in a backpack. And that was the weight that I used to bring from the ground to over my head. Basic. It was in my living room and in my spare bedroom. Those two things, I put them together and I made a weight. It's very simple. You don't need the fancy, expensive things. You just need something. So, do a little bit every day. Get online to see where to start. Again, there's a lot of places that do a lot of body weight stuff. You don't need anything. You just need like a 6x6 space. And you can do a body weight workout in your house in the morning to start off your day. Or in the afternoon to keep your day going. The second thing I would encourage you is to eat well. This is often overlooked because the idea that if I'm full means I'm well fed, that doesn't actually work. Well fed means I'm getting the right nutrients, I'm getting the right things into my body to allow myself to be in a better state. And if you're eating certain things, they may give you different attitudes. Now, I'm not saying that if you eat a burger, then you're going to act like a cow or anything. That's weird. But if I just eat junk food and junk food and junk food, and I eat fast food every day, I'm probably not going to feel that great. I notice a difference after I eat pizza and then ice cream, and then I wake up and have donuts for breakfast. By like noon that day, I feel terrible because I've got no nutrients into my body. I've not focused on what I need to be eating. I've really just focused on what tasted good. So as we're in this quarantine space and we're trying to really, really battle our mental health, I would encourage you focus on what you are eating. Eat vegetables at as many meals as possible. Now, don't just eat broccoli all day. That doesn't work either. You need protein. You need some carbohydrates. But try to get those vegetables in. Maybe grab some fruit instead of processed sugar. So go for a banana instead of a Twinkie. Go for an apple instead of a Swiss cake roll. Eat something that is good for you, that is natural. It's a whole food, and you definitely won't go wrong. Again, we're holistic beings. These things all work together. I was recommended by my sister-in-law, actually sent me a link to a podcast called The Modcast, M-O-D-C-A-S-T. Dr. Mott, correct, Kaylee? She's over here. Dr. Motley. Dr. Motley, he is a doctor that really focuses on body type, about who you are and what you ingest affects not just how you feel, but how you think. It affects your body and it affects your mind. So maybe listening to the Mottcast. I'll put the link in the description below. And maybe hearing what he has to say a little bit, to adjust what we eat, to adjust what we do to help better our mental health, our mental state. So these are not isolated things. We're talking about all four: mental, physical, spiritual, relational, because they all tie into who one person is. So we encourage you, get some exercise every day. Walking to the mailbox and back, for most of us, does not count. If you walk further than your mailbox every day, that's not really exercise for you, going to your mailbox. But going on a short run, going on a brisk jog or a walk for more than just 5 minutes, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. We're stuck in our homes, so we can still individually go out and exercise, or exercise with those you are quarantined with. Take advantage of it. Run your neighborhood. Walk your neighborhood. Do whatever you can to get your body moving, and also eat well. Invest in yourself. Don't just eat processed sugars and high carb breads, but eat vegetables, eat fruit, eat good proteins, and that will help benefit you and your mental health. Have a good one.